Hello, welcome back to the finishing line, proudly sponsored by Glistian Events, and we have Andrew and Sean here. Tom was up in Navan. His horse was retiring today. He's off in Bay, so he's not here with us, and we will let Tom discuss that and give an update in the Pimlico horses when he is back next week.
I think Zoff wanted to retire.
Yeah. Drew up stumps and that was the end of it. Andrew, how you doing?
I am in fucking tatters. Besides that, I'm alright.
Sean, how you doing?
Yeah, busy at the moment, but you push on. Finish the flat this weekend.
Yeah, so we're here. The jumps racing is not great. There's actually a couple of
It's
couple of
great
nice
compared
horses.
to this shit.
There's a couple of nice horses entered in Newton Abbot, Market Raisin and Limerick. But the main racing this weekend is British Champions Weekend, which may or may not be called off due to the storm that is kind of battering the British Isles at the moment and Ireland at the moment. But we're going to touch on those races. We'll run through them. There's 5 Group 1s and then a handicap. And that will be our selections this weekend. We're then going to record our anti-post video number 3 for Sunday, and we'll just touch base on a few things that have happened in the jump racing world, and we'll leave that for that video and give a quick discussion on our thoughts on that.
Can't wait.
Going forward, it's jumps all the way from here on in. Cheltenham next week, first Cheltenham meeting, the open meeting, and we will be back doing our Sunday reviews, and our next anti-post show won't be for a couple of weeks. Our next anti-post pick for a couple of weeks after Cheltenham and some of the other racing goes, and obviously Tom is not here, so Tom will be due 2 picks when we come back for anti-post show number 4. Number 4.
5 times.
So Champions Weekend is kind of the last big meeting of the flat. We have a couple of Group 1s in different places, but Cheltenham and all the jumps horses really start kicking into gear from here on in. But we have a decent card at Ascot as long as it goes ahead, looking like soft ground.
Soft? You're gonna need a fucking canoe at this stage.
Swamp ground. And the first race to touch on is the 115, the Kipco British Champions Long Distance Cup, Group 2. It's a Group 2, but it's a Group 1 really.
Also known as a bumper.
2 mile flat race. Kip Ross in here is favourite 6-5, Trushan 7-4, Coltrane 7-1, Sweet William 10-1, and 12-1 bar. Sean, you're going to go for Kiprios?
Yeah, I'm absolutely all over Kiprios here. I thought his comeback run after 344 days out the track was very respectable. He looked as though he needed the run, and he came home for it. He did go through with his challenge and finished strongly. Just Elderoff had the toe and better position than him and got away. I think he's going to come on massively. Like you look, he's beaten the like
frozen. We're frozen or he's frozen. One of us is frozen. This live thing is not going well anymore, is it?
No.
I think I'm all good. Can you hear me?
He's back. Yeah, back. He's back.
I thought Kiprios. I thought his first run was not as bad as what I thought people made out to be. I would have been all over him in the Cadran. They've skipped that and come straight here. He's getting the soft ground. He's beaten the likes of Trushan before. He's head and shoulders the best in this division last year. I thought he had a positive comeback run, and I'm all over him here. I think Trushan's been getting away with it. The last at Doncaster, he was beating Sweet William. Then again, he went to France and he beat Rum for Oscar. I don't think that's great form. And Kiprios, if he's to come back to anywhere near his best, I think will absolutely bash these the weekend.
Andrew?
Yeah, I think this is near on the biggest certainty of the weekend. Look, he's by far the best horse in this race. I know Trushan is coming back to a small bit of form. He won His last 2 races, one at Doncaster, he put like a train, but Holly gave him a great ride that day. She let him roll on. I think it was just as the way out in the second circus. And the Group 1 he won a Longchamp it's nothing like it's going to face today. Kyprios, he was the next Yates last season. Came back from Sean said 344 daybreak, ran like a horse that needed it, 1 mile 6, short of his best. He's back, he's up to 2 miles here, and it's going to ride like 2.5 mile going on the ground. He has form on the ground. He won a Group 1 in France by near half the track on this kind of ground. He's the freshest horse in the race. He's the classiest horse in the race. I think it's going to be near on impossible to beat. Aidan O'Brien will have this fella cherry ripe. He's one man that can get horses back to their brilliant best, and yeah, Kyprios wins.
Yeah, I don't like him at all. I like Kyprios.
Why?
But this meeting, loads of favourites kept betting it, so
he's fresh.
I'll be looking away from it. I just didn't like his run last time. Being beaten by Elderoff is crap for him, if you ask me. I don't even care if it was
he finished 3 lengths behind him, and he needs a run.
If he was 80% of the Kyprios he was last year, he would have beaten Elderoff by 10 lengths.
You're not thinking now he got a ride there that was like, yeah, we'll give you a blowout.
He looked like
you
a
win,
horse.
you win, you don't, you don't.
He looked like a horse that didn't have it after being injured for so long. And Trushan will get his ground. He likes soft ground, so I think Trushan is the more likely winner, to be honest. I hope Kyprios comes back, but I'd be totally against him at even money nearly.
Isn't it mad if Trushan didn't come back to this kind of form, they're actually thinking about sending him over hurdles? They said at the start, at middle of the season, Alan King tied with the idea.
I just can't. The Elderoff is useless, and
you've never liked him though.
Elderoff?
Yeah.
I just can't. It was a bad prep run. I hope he comes back to himself and comes back next year, but I can see him blowing out and going to stud.
I don't like the flat Dave. You're very. Let's get through this. Let's get it done. There's no.
Someone said, "Is Tom getting a kebab?" Quite possible. I'd say he's driving home from Navan. It's a long drive, so it's definitely possible.
Or he could be sitting in a stable with soft still.
The bookies foe plenty of doubts about Kyprios for the price. That's just basically how I feel about it. There's too many doubts to be going in there now.
What's the too many?
He got bet by Elderoff, and he's been injured.
Comeback run.
He's been injured for a year.
He's not been injured for a year now.
At the start of the flat season,
he's having a second run.
He's injured, he's been injured a long time.
When was the car?
This is going to be the classic approach of many people, like how we are and how Dave is. I think it's wherever side you're sort of on, you're either really against him or you're really for him.
41 days ago?
I don't think he'd be going rich back in horses.
Oh, God, no, you won't.
Like Kyprios after being injured and having a poor prep run.
Sean Deneen there might have different thoughts about that.
Again, I like Kyprios. I hope he wins. A very nice horse, but no thanks. Okay.
Adding bigger that you fancy, I'm trying to make this.
They're just not good enough. Trollerman is a decent enough horse, but like he's not up to the standard of a group.
Something mad will run good at a big price. Something like Broom or something like that.
Generally, there's I think Brian Ellison had a horse that Tashcan ran second in this 1 year at about 66 to 1. So it's
at the
quite
blue
likely.
with the kind of dark blue square.
Yeah, quite likely. 150, the quick Kipco British fucking stupid thing. Champion Sprint Stakes, a Group 1 over 6 furlongs, and Kane Ross looks is going to get his ground. 7-4, won it last year. Big Shack at 9-2. The Dream, again, I think she is quite decent on soft ground. 6-1. Millstream 7-1. Sandrine 9-1. Spycatcher 10-1. The good old timer Rohan, who loves Ascot, 14-1, and 16-1 bar. Andrew.
Isn't it mad that we say good old Rohan? He's only 5. It's like he's around donkey's years.
So fucking.
He's only 5, yeah. It's like he's 8 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, if the way the ground is going and the rain, this is going to end up like a 7 furlong race. So it's probably up Kyprios the street. But I'm not going away from me good old pal Rohan. I know the ground's probably going to be against him, but it's going to be these races always run mental pace, and you'll get some fuckers that'll go off like the clappers as always. He'll go out the back. He'll come through beating horses. Like last year, he was 4-1 for this race, and your man Kinross won it last year, 3-1. So you're getting 14-1 this year, and each way bet he might fall into fourth. Back of a win. Loves the course and distance. Yeah, well, look, it's Kinross's to lose, but I'll take a chance at Rohan after his he come back to win last time. But Shaq, I'll ask you now. You'd have to be worried after the last day because everything went right and everything went wrong at the same time.
Yeah, I don't be honest. I don't know what to do to Shaq, but last year if you go back through his form, he was first at York, 20-1, first, really impressive, and he ran in I think it's the Acom Stakes, so one of them raced at York the next day and just came 9th to 9th. He just didn't even try that day. And the race at Haydock looked the exact same. I don't know why they messed around. He's clearly nuts. And if he's nuts, just leave him be fucking nuts. Like they tried to stop him being nuts, and it clearly didn't work. In saying that, there had to be something wrong with him.
We kind of touched on it before the race, as in what will actually happen when everything goes to plan per se, and he breaks off with him and he's up by the top. Will he spit the dummy out, or does he just like passing horses, or what is it?
It's hard to know because he was running over 7 furlongs at the start of his career, and now they dropped him to sprint trips. The one thing is, I'd always forgive a horse a bad run at Haydock.
Oh yeah.
I had mentioned that he'd ran at Haydock before. I was wrong. I said that it was actually York I was thinking of. Haydock's a very strange track. I would have liked to seen a lot more from him, and maybe he got beaten like second or third. He didn't show anything, but it was Haydock, and some horses don't act at Haydock. Newmarket's an uphill finish. He won there. Ascot's an uphill finish. He won there. Newbury, stiff enough track, won there. Newmarket again, uphill finish, won there. So the track's definitely going to suit him. He's won the Commonwealth Cup there. If you gave me a choice between Shaq and Kinross, I'd go for Shaq. He's already beaten him at Newmarket in the July Cup. And he'd be the one I'll side with because I'll forgive him one run. It wouldn't surprise me. I think if Tom was here, Tom would back Shaquille each way because he's either going to win
or be nowhere. And you're getting an each way price, so Tom would kind of split it down the middle and go for each way, kind of 5-1, and hope he does the business. And another horse that ran really poorly that day at Haydock is Run to Freedom, Henry Candy's horse. He's pretty good form at all these big Group 1s, bar the last day. He's by Muharrar, I think, so he'll love soft ground. I think he will run a big race. He won a race, I think it was at Salisbury in the middle of the summer there. He was quite impressive that day. And then he was second to Shaquille in the July Cup. If you give his last run at Haydock, I think he'll run a big race too. So Shaquille and Run to Freedom. Feed the Shaq and he will win.
Sean?
Yeah, like Kinross the last day, I just have a little bit of worry his age catching up on Kinross. I've no doubt he should have won the last day, and he was hitting flat spots, and he didn't really have that. He didn't cruise into that race in anyways. If he did, he would have got to the gap and he would have won. I just had my worries about him and Shaquille. I couldn't be touching him after the last day, and Dave stole me tip there at the end. Done a bit of digging in here, and Run to Freedom. He's 33-1. He is a big price, a massive price each way. I really like him. I think he should. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he goes off 14-1 on the day. He like his form behind Kinross. Behind Shaquille at the Newmarket race was. That's him. I think he likes a bit softer ground. Maybe getting a bit older and he doesn't go as well in the quicker ground. But his race there, when he was just behind Shaquille and in front of Kinross, I thought that was a massive run. He also come back to this meeting where he went off 150 to 1 last year, and he was second to Kinross, running a cracker. His only downfall is the gates. He can be a bit tardy, a bit slow away. You need to be good away. But at 33 to 1, he's a big price, and I think the ground coming salt is going to be in favour. He has the form, and he definitely shouldn't be a 33 to 1 shot. So I'm going to put him up each way.
Fair enough. Good show.
I think Frankie just made a balls of fucking long jump.
I'd be of the opinion that Sean, even with making the balls of that, Kinross should be beating the horses. So
he's just not travelling with that swagger anymore. I wonder his age catching up on him.
What price we get on Frankie to be at Royal Ascot next season? 8
him.
to 11 on? 1 to 6 on?
I'm even giving him an airtime. Simon O'Neill, Champions Day will be called off. Me and Andrew were talking about it. It's quite likely, to be honest. So, but look.
So?
Yeah, the rain is chaotic. They were talking about it today already.
Down here, and it's going straight across.
They said there's only so much rain they can take on the track before it'd have to be called off. So
that's been run on some poor ground. It's going to be horrendous if that gets called off.
Oh, they have to think of the proper racing now coming around the corner.
Mirazor West has been cut today, Dave, after a Willie Stable tour. We'll talk about that in the next video, but yeah, that's just bound to happen with all
hill account. You double boost them
with all those stable tours. It's going to happen. The British champion Fillies and Mayor Stakes Group 1 mile 4 furlongs. Free wind 10-3 favourite. Jackie O 4 to 1. Time lock 5 to 1. Via Sistina. I hate that horse.
Can't stand her.
11 to 2. Sweet Memories 8 to 1. Above the Curve 8 to 1. A French horse Rue.
You're going so well.
Rue Bossonade.
French or Scottish now?
I don't know. That's very hard to say. 12 to 1 bar. I'll keep it short and simple here. Jackie O.
Correct.
Has 3 pieces of form with soft in the description. Good to soft. Second to Blue Rose Sen at Longchamp. Good to Yielding, which is kind of soft over in Ireland. Second at the Curragh to Lumia Rock. And soft at Gorn in a Group 3, which is heavy. If it's soft in Gorn, it's heavy. First, she loves soft ground, revels in it. Her mum was first past the post in the 1,000 guineas. I think it was soft that day. So she's got that trait. And if the ground is soft, which it certainly looks like it's going to be, Jackie O will win. Andrew?
Yeah, Jackie O for me as well. Same things you. The ground won her maiden on heavy ground at Navan, Nice. Then backed it up at Navan was second in the Fillies listed race. Brilliant run at Longchamp behind Blue Rose Sen, where she went straight to the line with her. Looked like she was going to beat her at one stage. Comes back to that form. She'd be very, very hard to beat. I think 4 to 1's a fair price. I'm going to spend much time reiterating what you said, but I think 4 to 1, Jack Gill. She'll take a bit of beating in this.
Sean?
Yeah, I wanted to take on the top of the market. I respect Jackie O, as you touched on. She runs in good form, but free win, she sort of lost her way. And Venus Sistina, I don't like her at all. Stepping up to this trip for the first time. But above the curve, she's 12 to 1 in here. I think she'll be a big price, and she has a good each way squeak. She's a very consistent mare who runs her races all the time. She's won a grade 2 this season and been placed 3 times in a grade 1. She was stepped up for the first time to 1.5 miles the last time behind Warm Heart, where she sat in behind the pace and they didn't go a great gallop, and when they quickened up she seemed to just get caught out and you thought she was going to go and be beaten 10 lengths. But in fairness to her, she dug in for the first time back up to 12 furlongs, and she went to the line and she was in the mix with the likes of the French horse Blue Rose Sen. So I think at 14 to 1 in a race that I wouldn't be surprised to see a shock in here at all. I think above the curve could run a big race.
Okay. We are on to the 345, the Champion Stakes.
305.
305. Sorry, I skipped one by mistake. The Queen Elizabeth Stakes.
Should have said that, and that was one less race we had to talk about then.
The 1 mile Group 1. Paddington is favourite, 11 to 10. Tahira is 7 to 2. I have a funny feeling she's not going to run. Big Rock 5 to 1. Nashua 5 to 1. Another French horse, Factor Cheval 10 to 1. And 12 to 1 bar. I'll keep it simple here again. Sayunis love soft ground. Paddington's best form is over a mile on soft ground. I quite like Big Rock, but he's not good enough to beat Paddington, and I can't see Tahira running, so I think Paddington will win. Andrew?
I'm siding with Big Rock. He's form on that ground, on heavy ground as well. He's won at Chantilly, beating Horizon Dare, who's favourite for the race we're going to talk about next. He beat him by 5 lengths. He was 3.5 lengths behind Ace Impact in the Jockey Club, and he went off 70-10 favourite for that. He was beaten twice since at Longchamp and Doval. Look, yeah, he probably has it defined with Paddington, but I think 6-1 is a fair enough price each way for him for a horse that will act on the ground, and kind of has that back form to back up that he deserves a place here. So I think Big Rock at a decent enough price. Yeah, I think he'll run a big enough race.
Sean?
This is between a rock and a hard place for me now, between Paddington and Tahira. Seen the interview with Dermot Well today, and he didn't seem keen that she was going to be going on soft ground, and I was shocked at that because, like, her performance in the Moigler, she was unbelievable on soft ground at the Curragh that day. But I was shocked to see that he was him and hawing about not running her. But Paddington, what a story he's been all season. Like, he went to every battle and just found one too many going to York when he was beaten by Mustadaff. But back here, back to the mile on softer ground, look, wherever two it is, if they're going to pull to here, I think Paddington has it all to be beaten. Like the likes of Nashwa, I wouldn't, although she beat him at York, come back to a mile here, I'd fancy Paddington to turn there every day of the week. And Big Rock, I thought he was doing well at the start of the season, just faded away, like beating the last day, just turned me off him. But if Paddington, by the looks, it was going to go here and to her is going to be pulled, he's going to take all the beat.
Yeah, Dermot Well is like 0 from 17 the last 2 weeks as well, so stable's not running well. So it could be a case that he just backs off and maybe runs her at the Breeders' Cup. An outsider that might have a shout, a horse that done me and Andrew a good few favours before, is Angel Bleu. As a 2-year-old, won Group 1 over in France in desperate heavy ground, and has finally started to kind of put it back together. People that watched the flat and remember that Kinross was a very good 2-year-old. His 3-year-old season, he kind of fell away, and then he's come back over the last couple of years as a 7-furlong Group 1 horse. Angel Bleu, same colours and kind of resembles the same style. I really thought he would be a good horse last year. Fell away. He started to kind of put it together again. Won over soft ground at Goodwood, and he's one. If the top of the market don't perform, he might be able to do the business.
Do you think there's any chance of Innsbruck backing up to give Frankie the flying finish? Like, she was wicked at Newmarket. Yeah, I was just
fuck her. Fuck Frankie.
Like I know you said there, look, you're gone off Big Rock after the last one. Like, that ground is down as good to soft, as good to firm. And look, all his best formers was soft and heavy, and is going to get it the weekend. I think he'll put in another massive performance.
Yeah, look, I like Big Rock all season, but getting beaten by Saturni the last day is just enough for me.
Would Paddington's tendency, what he done the last time, just to hang, put you off?
I think Paddington's best is getting his ground and the trip. Paddington looks like he should be a mile 2 furlong horse, but he's a miler. The Champion Stakes. I've lost my train of thought there. Champion Stakes.
I'll be back. Fuck.
The main race of the day. 1 mile 2 furlongs. And a French horse, Horizon Dore. Andrew talked about him.
Oui.
2-1 favourite. Bay Bridge 4-1. King of Steel 4-1. He's probably going to get his ground. So Via Sistina's in here again. My Prospero 8-1. Mostadaff will not like the ground, so I'd say
like a barge.
He wouldn't run. Royal Rhyme 10-1. Nashua again. Paddington, Dubois Honor, and Point Lonsdale. And before our selections, we have this video. That was nice.
Nice video, isn't it?
Yeah, it was nice. I was just thinking about this weekend last year. I had 4 horses in an each way accumulator, all above 50 to 1. And I did it in the shop. And all of them placed, but they wouldn't pay me in the shop because they said the places were online. One of them came 4th, and they wouldn't give me the 4th.
That's harsh.
4 horses above 50 to 1, all placed, accumulator. I got robbed. But that's what happens.
Before we move on,
Council do that to you.
if you want to get involved in anything that Glistian have, there's 3 websites. Glistian
They'll whip
event. Whoa, that's Dave's little site. You have Glistian events where they will cater to all your sport and travel needs. So if you want to go to Super Bowl, you want to go to Santa Anita this year, Breeders' Cup, wherever the Breeders' Cup is on, NFL, anything like that will sort you out. They have GlistianGolf.com for all your golf equipment. They have an exclusive deal with TaylorMade, so they have offers on that. And then you have your Glistian Racing for the horse racing syndicates and black and gold membership, where you get exclusive discounts off concerts in the O2, VIP box in the O2. You have your money off Glistian or TaylorMade stuff and everything else. So go on to GlistianRacing.com if you want to check out all of that. All the links are in the description.
Yeah, best of luck to South Africa in the rugby too. Keep her lit.
Oh, I forgot about the rugby.
Keep her lit.
We got very depressed for about an hour after that.
People are talking about Frankie. I'm honestly not wasting my time on that.
What's more depressing? Listen to people talk about Frankie or us bottling.
The rugby. Look, that's what happens. Ireland we just never win. It's like we were from Waterford, so we're used to it.
We bottled it, though, didn't we?
Champion Stakes.
Just want to talk about it because it hurts still.
Yeah, it was a bad Saturday night. I just went home and went to bed. Didn't even text anybody.
You stared at my wall for about a good half an hour and didn't move.
He's a narcissist. He's just a fucking Egypt. Like, anyway, I think what I think is Bay Bridge is going to win this again for the 2nd year running. He beat By Eden this last year, 10 to 1, a big price on the day. Very good horse on his day. He's by New Bay again, so he will light the ground. I think there's too much about this Horizon Dore. I think he's way too short now. I know some people put him up. Sam there from Next Gen, I think, has a 25 to 1 slip from earlier in the summer. You'd be happy with that. But
what's that called?
Value.
What happens if he loses?
You still fucking lose.
There you go.
Your €10 will return 0. I think he's way too short now, so I'm going to go for Bay Bridge. Hopefully on the day get about 5 to 1. I don't like King of Steel. I think there's way too many excuses for him.
I used to like him. Now we don't like him.
For the losses. My Prospero...
Useless.
He's a dog now, lads. Stay away. And I don't think Mostaf will run. So I think... But yeah. Anguilla, yeah. West Balboa. That's what I'm going to pick. That was the worst anti-post tip ever in the history.
It's not even going for the mares now, apparently.
Yeah, stairs. Or the Pertemps. That's honestly the worst tip he's ever put up.
And now it's close to Tell Me Something Girl for Turners.
Prengard.
Yeah, that thing is still to be found in the cheese wedge.
You know what amazes me? In the comments, it'll still be, well done for Absolute Hard. Who didn't fucking win?
Didn't win, Dave. Didn't win. Do you know who else didn't win, who we put up for the Gold Cup? And representing Percy. Didn't win. But do you know what? We put up album photo with like 16s to win it, and
I just don't get it. That's the thing that drives me around the bend. If you want to drive me around the bend, that's what it is.
Very antsy today.
Okay. The thing Tell Me Something Girl was very bad, laughing my ass off. It's the well done, Tom, for Absolute Hard. He didn't fucking win.
Yeah.
That's
we actually backed him that year as well. We listened to Tom that year.
I didn't. Oh no, we did.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think about the Gold Cup.
And I was fuming. I texted Andrew after. I was like, I told you we should have backed me.
See what happens. Flat Dave, jumps Dave.
Anyway, I think Bay Bridge is going to win.
See, he's calming down straight away. The voice has gone down.
With Bay Bridge, Andrew.
I don't like anybody in this race, bar that Horizon Dore. Bay Bridge, yeah, great case. You can see the case for him. He'll probably be the main danger. King of Steel don't like VSD, and she's fucking terrible. Mustaf doesn't look like he's going to run. My Prospero will shit the bag when she's she sees these. Nashwa is Nashwa. Yeah, and the rest of them are just blah, 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 blah.
So Horizon Dory.
Correct.
Sean.
Yeah, I'd have it down to Bay Bridge and Horizon Dore myself. I'd be on Horizon Dore's. So a lot of people are probably looking and saying, "Who's this? Where has he come from?" And he's been in France. He's been kept away from Ace Impact, but my God, has he been impressive? He's racked up 4 wins, winning Group 2s and Group 3s. If you go and look at them, he's acting the dick on him out the back, and he's coming up and picking them up inside the last furlong. He's far more value than what he's been winning by. I think a stronger pace against better horses here is sitting closer. I think you're going to see the real him. I think he's a really, really good horse and definitely up to Grade 1 standard. He hasn't gone and won one yet because he hasn't ran in none, but he's going to go and have a chance here to go and win his big Grade 1. And I think he'll do it. He'll be held up out the back and he come return a foot. The ground turning soft is going to be only a benefit to him. He's running really deep ground in France, and I think he's very, very good. Possibly the second best horse in France. He's just being kept away from Ace Impact.
Fair. Okay. Last race, the Balmoral handicap. It's over a mile. I think it's worth a lot of money, and it's a decent handicap every year. A good betting heat for people that like to try and get an outsider. It's 6-1 the field. Docklands. It's only listing 7-1. He hurt me. He hurt me
this
the
is
last
therapy
day.
for you.
He hurt me the last day. How did he lose? We talked about this already. He went to length ahead and he just threw it in. He done what fucking that thing last week did. What's his name?
All right.
Yeah, that's him.
What a race that was.
Baradar, Migration, Al Mubhir, Bo Pedro, Awal, and the list goes on and on and on to very big prices. Sean, do you have anything in this?
I found it hard. Between a rock and a hard place. I don't know if Dockland's an absolute good thing or is a false sense of security. The form, we followed a horse that was beaten by Cicero's Gift, and this came out and absolutely boosted its form. It came out in the Britannia. It was drawn on the opposite side to where the pace ended up being. He ended up having to hit the front of furlong out. The opposition was on the other side of the track, and he dug in well to go all the way to the line. He was given a bad ride at Goodwood by Hayley Turner. She was held up out the back on a pace where Ryan and Frankie were on the pace dictating, and he was just never
shocking ride, yeah.
Yeah, it was just never going to be able to get into the race from there coming down the hill. So I haven't really made my mind up yet. I'm between a rock and a hard place. I can't really figure out whether he's a good thing or not, but I suppose probably results on the day will dictate how much I go in here, to be honest.
Yeah, see, it was hard that day the way the race ran to come from behind, the way she rode him at Ascot. Back at Ascot, I think it'll actually suit him better off if they go a mad pace. He obviously goes on the ground, so that's no issue. So the top of the market, I think he's actually a decent enough price, so you can still have an each way bet, 6-7-1 probably on the day. But obviously it's a big betting heat. Cicero's Gift, he must have got injured that day in the St. James Palace because I ain't seen him since.
Either that or he sold in Australia or Hong Kong or something.
Yeah. But I have three I want to mention at big prices.
All right, Tom.
Helm Rock, Daniel and Claire Kubler. I love the stable. They're very shrewd. They had that Astro King run in decent handicaps. He was fifth the last day in decent enough race, and he's bi-pivotal. He'll like the ground. A handicapper on the up. And then two mad price ones. When I get them now. Well, up now. Raising Sand, he's an 11-year-old, but he runs Ascot well. I'd say Safi Osborne will be on him. He pops up every now and again, usually but once a year, and he wins at a big price. So we'll have an each way bet on him. And you know what? Racing Breaks Rider probably has a chance if he comes back to a soft ground form start the year, but he'd be my least one. It'd be Helm Rock and Raising Sand. I'm telling you, Raising Sand's going to do it. 66-1 on the day, and he's going to win. I can feel it. Andrew?
I actually quite fancy one in this.
Raising Sand?
No.
Oh, okay.
Ross Collin?
No.
Yes. Here's why. His form on soft and heavy ground is there to be seen. He's this season, where has it gone? This season he has a second on heavy, a win on heavy, a win on soft, and another win on soft. And these are all in big handicaps, 17 runners, 11, and so on. He's a decent enough horse. Look, last time he was at Ascot, he was 23rd, 29th, but that was on good firm ground. Back on this ground, I think he'll have a right chance. I think he's 14, 16 to 1. And the other one who I like is Blue For You. Hasn't been in any kind of form this season, has one run and a load of duck eggs next to him, but he has it in him to run a big race off this kind of mark. So, yeah, Blue For You and Ross Collin for me. And I'll probably black that thing you said there just for the crack.
Oh, yeah, I'm telling you. He
Because I'm not listening to text. I told you to back him. I told you to win.
It's just these horses, they drop to a level and they win.
Screenshot that. I don't even have to back him now.
If Ross Collin wins, I'll give Andrew 100.
I don't have to back him.
No,
I have to back him now.
You have a 10-1 bet there now.
10-1 with a free bet.
The last time Raising Sand won was at Ascot last year, 3rd September. Good to soft of 87.
What's he off now?
84.
Ooh.
It's all fucking coming up Millhouse.
Great saying.
Andy Knapp's the next best.
For here. Jackie O would be probably the main one. Oh no, Kyprios and Jackie O. Yeah.
Sean?
Kyprios, Jackie O.
Yeah, Kyprios, he's definitely the good one of the short ones for me. And my next best would be Run to Freedom at 33 to 1 each way. I think that's a massive price. I reckon that'll be half the price in the day.
Yeah, no, I think Jackie O will win. It's all to do with the ground. And I really like Bay Ridge against Horizon Dore. So those two will be my favourites. I hope Shaq comes back too, but you know, I got my money at the start of the season, so whether he does or not really doesn't affect me anymore.
Very true.
On that note, we will leave you. Have a good Champions weekend. As I said, we're recording our anti-post video number 3, and we'll discuss a little bit of the jumps horse news at the start of that. That'll be out Sunday. Next week, we're back as normal for our weekend preview on the Wednesday, and we will be back on the Sunday with the jumps kicking back off with our weekly or weekend review, rather, should we say. Because with the jumps and all the horses get injured, and there's loads to talk about.
It's like Mini.
So there'll be lots. Thank you as always to our sponsor, Glistian Events. Andrew and Sean, have a pleasant evening and goodbye.
I'll see you in like 2 minutes.